Hey guys, Liquid Blitz here, and today I'm stepping back from the Black Ops vids in order to bring you my opinions on how to grow your gaming channel, or more specifically how to grow it faster than other people. Now before we kick off, I just want to say this isn't going to include any BS like fake views or sub for sub or any of that nonsense. This vid is going to cover the cold, hard and very real facts to growing your gaming channel legitimately. That being said, let's get right into it. I'll go through and list the main most important points you're going to need to know, and then I'll go into more detail about each one as I go. If you don't want to listen to the current tip, you can skip forward to the next tip using the annotation in the bottom right. First of all, and these are in no particular order, pick a suitable channel name. Since late 2012, now you need a Google profile before you can have a YouTube channel. And by default it will set your YouTube channel name to your real name via your Google profile. But you can easily create a new permanent channel username. YouTube refers to it as reverting to YouTube username. If you need to do this, there's a link in the description to a mini tutorial on how to do that. As a gaming channel, you should never use your real name. When choosing your username, there are a couple of ground rules. First of all, don't use random numbers on the end. Even if they mean something to you, they won't mean anything to other YouTubers, and it looks really unprofessional to do so best to avoid them completely. Secondly, try and use capital letters at the beginnings of words in your name. Look at this example. The Gaming Guru without capital letters doesn't look anywhere near as neat and tidy as the Gaming Guru with. Which brings me on to my next point. Try and keep connecting words like these out of your name unless absolutely necessary as part of your identity. So that would shorten the example to Gaming Guru. No one wants to see a 5-worded name that's like 100 characters long. Short and snappy is the key. Things that people can remember easily but also type easily if they need to. And one last thing about usernames. Once you pick one, you cannot change it under any circumstances. It's a permanent choice, so pick well. Secondly then, use intros and outros for your videos. If you use an intro or an ident, it looks far more professional and it also helps people remember your name. If you don't have the knowledge necessary to create these things, you may want to get a friend to help you or perhaps follow some tutorials to create a basic one. But I'll cover more on that a bit later. Something to keep in mind for an intro is that you should keep it short. As cool and awesome as it may look, no one wants to sit through a 15 or 20 second intro. My advice for you as a new channel would be to keep it under 6 seconds. Bigger YouTubers might have longer intros, but they can get away with it because they're already known, whereas with a new channel like yours they would probably just get annoyed. Use mine as an example. Go back to the beginning of this video and watch mine, it's only 4 seconds long. It used to be 10 seconds, but I quickly realised it was way too long. Make sure that the main focus, the centerpiece of the intro is your channel name, something that can be seen on every video to really hammer your name into people's heads. So generally, overall, intros and outros just make your videos seem far more professional. Anyway, thirdly, and this is really the most important point, make good quality content. Obviously there are different types of gaming content, from tips and tricks to breakdowns, general gameplay vids, commentaries, collaborations, or a mixture of everything. If you intend to grow your channel, you're going to need content that makes people think, that's awesome, I want to see more of that. With gaming specifically, a key part of this is to be very good at the games you're making vids about. And here's the biggest part, you need to make commentaries for your videos. Anyone can make a vid showing a good match in Call of Duty, but only a handful of those will talk over the top of it. Describing the details of the game, going through, what class they're using, what's good about it, what's bad about it, and all that kind of stuff. And it's those videos that get the most views simply because they're more captivating. They make it much easier for the audience to stay interested and entertained in a video, so the only real way to grow your channel is to be a commentator. Moving on, the next main tip ties in with the commentary aspect perfectly, and that is to use decent software and hardware. Let's look at software first. If you want to grow your channel as quickly as possible, using Windows Live Movie Maker just isn't going to cut it, because at some point you're going to need to use tools and things that Movie Maker can't do. In the description is a link to a 2013 top 10 review for editing software. Now I personally use Adobe Premiere, or Premiere if you're American, because it ties in and generally jives well with Adobe Fireworks, Photoshop and Audition, all of which I use for my videos. This isn't some kind of weird endorsement though, I've heard Sony Vegas is an excellent choice to go with, and I've also heard good things about Pinnacle. So make sure you do your research and choose one that does everything you're going to need it to do. But I recommend Adobe Premiere. As for recording commentary, I use Adobe Audition, which lets you record using any input device straight into the editor, and you can play around with it, cut it, add professional effects to it, and all of that lovely stuff. If you're a PC gamer like me, it also lets you record whilst you have a full screen game open, so you can record in real time. Speaking of recording commentary, you're going to need a good quality microphone. Nothing is worse than trying to watch a YouTube video when someone is talking using a horrible quality tin can webcam mic. The crisper and clearer you sound, the higher the percentage of your audience is going to be interested, and by extension, subscribe. Most headset mics are clear enough nowadays since technology is getting better and better, but if you want to splash out a bit more, you could look into getting a good quality standalone mic. For example, the Blue Yeti is a big favourite among some of the bigger YouTubers, as is the Blue Snowball. In the past, every video I've made until the 6th of March 2013, the commentary was recorded with my gaming headset, the Logitech G35's microphone. But just one day before making this vid, I bought the Blue Yeti. So if you like the quality of this mic, just remember it's a Blue Yeti. Anyway, moving on. As for recording gameplay itself, on PC I simply use Fraps, and it's never yet let me down. So I recommend that straight away for PC players. As for console players, you're going to have to look into getting yourself a good quality capture card. I'm not too knowledgeable about capture cards myself, but I've been told that they're one of those things where you really get what you pay for. If you get a cheap one, it's going to really show in the quality of your clips. In the description is a link to a video from 2013 going into great detail about all the top choices, so if you need a capture card, I highly recommend you go check it out. If I had to choose one myself, I would personally go the Elgato Game Capture Card, which works with both the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and records in both 720p and 1080p. Now that we've talked a bit about software and hardware, I need to open your eyes to two very real facts. If you are genuinely serious about growing your channel for whatever reason, then prepare to spend a lot of both time and money in order to succeed. Time is the one most people already know about. When you make professional quality videos maybe 2 times a week or more, you need a hell of a lot of free time for it. Some of the more detailed videos, especially if you're new to this, might take you several hours each. First, you need to know what your video will be about, then you need to do any necessary recording, then edit everything together along with your intro, background music, etc. Record commentary and then sync that up with the video if you didn't record in real time. When you're finally happy, then you need to render the entire video, which might take a long time if some of the gameplay is long and high quality. And finally upload it, which can also take a long time if you don't have the best internet connection. You have to remember that most of your subscribers are subscribed because they want to see more things from you, and that means regular uploads. If you put up one video every 2 months, you're going to bleed subscribers over time, whereas 1 or 2 a week will keep people on their toes. And everything I've just said is just the time you need to spend on your videos. That doesn't include all the time you should spend checking comments, keeping up to date with your statistics, and all the little extras like that come with a YouTube channel. Moving on to the second part of that, money. If you think you can grow a channel quickly without spending any money, then think again. All the things previously mentioned, like all the software you need, the hardware such as mic and capture card, can definitely empty your wallet quickly. This is particularly a problem for you if you're a student. You could be looking at maybe $100 plus for a good mic, $150 plus for a decent capture card, and anywhere from $50 to infinite for editing software. Not to mention upgrades and replacements further down the line. And these are just the necessary things. If you really want to boost your growth, you can pay for promotions on videos to get them advertised across YouTube and other Google applications, which may be a good idea if you're brand new and want to kickstart your channel. If you don't have much money to splash out, or you simply don't want to, then you need to have a good think about whether or not this is such a good idea. Because growing and maintaining a YouTube channel requires a lot of time and money, and the simple fact is most people just don't have them, or the patience to actually continue it and see it through. If you decide you want to give it a go anyway but don't have the funds for it, do a lot of research into some of the cheaper options, because as I said earlier, the main growth factor is having good quality content. And if the content is good enough, then people will generally overlook the less than perfect mic quality. Moving on, as I've mentioned a few times, if you want to grow and keep the rate of growth high, you need to provide regular content. I would suggest no less than 1 video a week, but 2 if you can keep it up. Nothing halts growth quicker than a dry and dying channel. And last but certainly not least, engage your audience. Now this is a key role in growing your channel quickly. The whole idea behind engaging with your audience is to boost your core fan base through communication and, for want of a better word, loyalty. This may only be 1% of your full subscriber count, but these hardcore fans are the ones that will like every video and comment a lot. Now, a massive part of the engaging is social media sites. I recommend setting up a Twitter channel and, at a push, a Facebook page dedicated solely to your channel, not your real self. For example, I myself have a Liquid Blitz Twitter channel for all my latest happenings and whatever else. This gives the audience a place where they can go and follow you on a more personal and up-to-date level. Then there is also the fact that if you have a Facebook and Twitter, you look far more professional. Also, try your best to answer or reply to most of your comments on your videos, at least the understandable ones anyway. This simple act shows people that you're ready to engage with them, talk to them, and answer any questions that they might have. If they see you've answered someone else's question, it will increase the likelihood that they too will comment. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the basics. But as a little sort of extra talking point, I want to discuss copyright and partnership. Your overall aim should be to try and get partnered with a gaming network. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that in this vid. If enough people ask me, I might make a whole video just on that subject alone. But if you don't know what partnerships are, it's basically an agreement between you and a network giving you lots of cool features like a channel banner, custom thumbnails, etc. and also the ability to legally monetize videos with gameplay footage in them. In return, they take a slice of your earnings. Now, just in case you aren't sure about what you're allowed to monetize here on YouTube, I'll quickly break it down. You aren't allowed to use any copyrighted material on your channel or videos in any form, even when partnered. So if you want some background music, what you need is what's referred to as royalty-free material. These are things you can use commercially. I myself use the music of Ronald Jenkins for my intro, outro and background music, but I paid for a license from him directly to use it. You can only use and monetize your videos if everything in them is either your own creation, is royalty-free, or you have a license to use. Without partnership, you shouldn't be monetizing any videos with gameplay footage because you're actually in violation of copyright laws. Because you don't own the rights to the footage, even when it's you playing and you who recorded it, the rights belong to the game creators. Once you're partnered with a network, however, that obstacle is removed and you can then monetize videos with gameplay in them. One last thing that should be mentioned is that almost all networks out there will not accept you if you have copyright strikes against your account. So try your best to avoid using copyrighted materials at all times, even when you don't monetize the video. You don't want one silly little mistake to stand in the way of partnership. That's pretty much it for guidance, the rest is up to you. If you have any questions or maybe some additional tips that I haven't covered, leave them in the comments below. Like this video if you liked it, like this video if you didn't like it, and subscribe for more tips, breakdowns and gameplay. Peace.